How to clean a condensate tank. What are the steps involved? Hi, good evening, good afternoon, good night, depending on wherever you're watching me from. This is Synergy Program Managers, and I am bringing us a schedule, step-by-step schedule on how to clean a condensate tank. Maybe this is should be maintenance. So follow me and patiently just watch this short video and see and watch while I demonstrate how this is done. First, you need to create your schedule, and that you have to choose an EPS. So I've chosen this EPS and I'm going to create a new schedule, and I'm adding that as a new project. That done, I'm going to rename this to condensate cleaning, condensate tank cleaning. Condensate tank cleaning. Good. So that's done. I'm going to open the project and we're going to create WBSs. We're going to create WBSs. Now, what are the WBSs that we need? Now, first, we need to outline what are the phases involved in cleaning condensate tanks. What are the phases? If you were on my live on Facebook the other time, you will be able to, put one or two together based on what we discussed during my lunch and learn section that I usually have on my Facebook page. Now here, so I'm talking about what are the steps. So the first step is your planning and preparation, because before you set out to clean a condensate tank, shut it down, and do all of that, carry out routine maintenance or overhauling of that tank, you need to prepare. And part of so preparation is one of our WBS, that's the work breakdown structure. The next, so we're going to create that. So I'm having about five work breakdown structures that I'm going to use for this. And that I've added this. This is the first, sorry, this is an activity. So let me add a work breakdown structure. Good. So the work breakdown structure has been created, and I can add these two, three, just add I'm adding, so I'm making six, that's six of them, yeah, six of them. So I have one, two, three, four, five, and six. Good. So I have six of them here. I'm not bothering about renaming this, right? So but I'm putting the activity here. So I said the first one should be preparation, planning and preparation. So I'll put that here. Planning and preparation. The next one, so I'm going to expand this so that everyone can see what I'm doing here. Yeah, the next is draining and product recovery. Yeah, draining and product recovery. The next, the next is tank ventilation and gas freeing. Then the next, your fourth step is internal cleaning. So that's the cleaning proper. Internal cleaning. The next is, since I have type in here. Okay, so that's done. The next, after your internal cleaning, you have waste management. Then the last is reporting. Waste management. Because once that waste comes out, what are you going to do? Waste management. And the next is documentation. So I have final inspection. And the last is documentation. Okay, so documentation. Good. So we've seen so these are the major steps really that you need to take. These are like the big brother that you take, the steps you take to ensure that this is done. So the first thing you do is so if I want to clean a tank, I first of all have to plan, prepare. Yeah. I drain the product from the tank, to make the tank free from whatever product it has. And once that is done, then I ventilate, vent remember that tank is a confined space, so I have to vent it. Then the next is internal cleaning, then waste management, whatever waste sludge or whatever is coming out of it, then final. So those are the big umbrella. So we're going to go to the activities. So first, so you go straight back to the activities view. I want to start creating activities underneath this. Now I'm deleting this first one because I don't want this in here. So I'm getting it off so that I can create fresh activities. So for purposes of this class, of this video, right? So this is what it's going to be. So under planning and preparation, so what do we have? What do you do when you're planning or preparing for this, for tackling? So the first is you conduct job hazard analysis. So you are putting one activity here, and it is conduct JHA. Conduct JHA. Yeah. And that's your job hazard analysis. So you need to understand what hazard there is in it. Then the next is what? Obtain permits. So once the hazard has been checked and all of that, then you obtain permits. Obtain permit. Obtain permits. Then the next is erect scaffold. Erect scaffold. The next, so where you have insulation around the spade points, the isolation points, you have to add remove insulation. Remove insulation from isolation points. Insulation from isolation points. So this is done. The next is draining products. So what activities do we have? So then after that, you have your planning. So you still have isolation and the pressurization. Then you have material and equipment preparation. Isolation and the preservation, then material and equipment preparation. So here we have the isolation and the pressurization. Then we have material equipment preparation. Then under the next WBS, draining and product recovery, we have drain product from tank. So it means emptying the tank. Then remove sludge. So that sludge, you can pump it out with your high powered hoses, you know, pump or pumps out of the tank. Then the next is tank ventilation and gas free. And so you want to be sure that the tank is gas free before someone can go in. So you need to not test to be sure that you have a gas detectors put in to check and be sure that the it has enough oxygen, for human sustenance of life before you can allow people to go in there. The next is gas test, and of course that has been talked about. Then the next WBS is your internal cleaning, where you can wash with water the walls, the floor of the roof of the tank. So after that, by after washing, you're able to see cracks if there are cracks on the wall, if there are peelings, depending on what the coating is made of. So that will be inspected. Then the sludge, the waste that came out, the debris that came out from the cleaning exercise. This is where you manage them. You decide who is going to. Maybe during your turn around, you would have actually arranged with people, to say, this is where this is going to, or this is a contractor that your job is to cut this out of the site, cut it away from the site, whichever which way. But there must be a solid arrangement, so that you don't put those things back maybe in the sea in most cases, but you put them in a vessel as arranged and bring them back to land or dispose them where they needed to be disposed. Good. Then the next is you now have your final inspection where you expend for you obtain a gas free certification. That means the condensate tank is clean and there is no rubies or rubbish in it. You check for quality, the integrity of the tank itself, then you now check for you now close and seal. So after checking for the quality of the tank, of course, this instrument will check, mechanical will check, everyone just checks their mechanical will check, then fabric will check. So it depends on the way the organization is set up. You see some organization is just one mechanical that is in charge of everything, but you also see some organizations that you have different participants within that space for greater value. So whichever way, but inspection will need to happen. Then after which you close the mouth, you close the tank. You close the tank completely. So then, after that, you have the documentation where you have building test results. You have update maintenance logs. So all the logs, maybe all the CMMS that is being used, you just go in and log it in as done and put your findings there for reference purposes. Then this remove to anywhere beyond the the date, so you have to put that in there. So that's done. You have all your documents. Then lessons learned. So in the case of lessons learned, you need to sometimes you conduct what we call after action review, where everything that was done, will be replayed. Everything done will be replayed, outlined. It's like a turnaround now or paper event. It's a desktop event. Then you will now be able to isolate or differentiate the wins and the lows, right? Your wins, you need to sustain. Your lows, you have to now design a workaround on how to manage it and close out to make sure those issues are closed out, or eventually the risk are even 100% they disappear. 100%, but that's your lessons learned so you don't repeat your errors in the next outing. So after that, that is done. So these are the activities. So I just include the duration. This is just in days. The duration is in days. So I'm fit to just put all of them at one. Yeah, I think I'm right to put all of them at one day each, which we know, of course, they are not, they shouldn't be the same, you know. So that done, I'll hit my F9 button. Good. So this is scheduled and this is done, right? So you see your job is, let's say the number of days, this is 20 days. That's exactly like it. So if I'm to optimize now, I'll run some activities concurrently. And that's why you're seeing your activities are super critical because everything is on the critical path. But that's where we come to the end of this demo. That's about it, you know. So for resource loading, you use depending on your company, some companies they use subcontractor, you need to sublet it to contractor. So you should be talking about your progress measurement system at this point. Then depending on the some you have your maintenance crew in house, then you need to pull those ones in, put in some references, do so a couple of documentation as well, but get the team informed, right? Get them informed about the changes that will happen, and so they start bracing up to it until when um, the changes will be absorbed, right? So that is it for now. Thank you for staying through to the end of this long video. Thank you for all my subscribers. Thank you for returning subscribers. Thank you. Please hit the like and follow button and hit the bell icon so that whenever I post any video, you'll be the first to be notified. Thank you. See you in my next video. Bye.